Welcome to Techin5. My name is Christina,
I'm Josh.
and this is your weekly download. Excited to have you here on the show today, Josh, and we're discussing reasons to migrate from Great Plains to Business Central. So as the practice leader for Business Central at Withum, love to hear what your thoughts are that we should keep in mind as we consider a migration onto the new platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So a big thing that we see frequently is hesitation from GP users to migrate over to Business Central. And they're probably one of the more loyal ERP customer bases to their product. And the urgency around this is becoming greater and greater and greater as we go. So GP is what was classed as a mid-market ERP that's an on-premise solution from Microsoft. It was the last update was in 2018. Microsoft sunsetting the product by 2028, which is only now less than 6 years away. So in business, that's going to come around really quickly. And in the past, there wasn't really any firm timelines around that. So typically GP was geared towards slightly bigger customers than Nav. There was the two Microsoft on-premise products. And now with Business Central, what they've done is taken the Nav product as a base, put considerable improvement and resources into it that it now serves the whole customer base from small through genuine mid-market clients. What we see, with GP clients is that the database doesn't completely line up with BC naturally, right? So it's not an upgrade where you take the database and just flip it and it goes in. It is a genuine migration, but there's been a bunch of tools developed that let you now store your GP transactional data in what we would call a data lake and embed it in your Business Central screens. So you can see all of your customer transactional data, your inventory transactional data, all in Business Central without having to go through a full remapping process to move it in. So you
Love
would
it.
just then go through your typical migration where you're moving in your master records, so your customers, vendors, items, and then your net changes per GL per month, yet you still get reporting across all of your transactional stuff that you've done in the past. And I think that that's a big change and a big upgrade. So these products that have come out are fantastic. It stores all of that old data in an Azure data lake. And then, yeah, just lets you display it merged with your net new Business Central data as you continue to transact there.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's,
amazing. So
yeah,
that's making that process much easier then and
absolutely. And
faster.
yeah, completely. And it's taken away a lot of that stress of, giving up access to that data that people had to worry about in the past.
Mhm.
And so that is kind of one piece that sort of eased the migration process, right? So it's taking down those barriers. And once we get past that, I think the really important thing to do is look at all the benefits of once you get here, right? You get rid of all your on-premise, or even if you're, quote unquote cloud, because you're in a hosted Azure database instead, right? It's still an on-premise product. You get rid of all of those hosting costs, etc. Your licensing actually even decreases in most cases. And the new licensing includes the cost to store it on the Microsoft Azure storages. So you're not managing that, you're not maintaining that. You don't have to worry about the uptimes, downtimes, etc. And so that part of it, those barriers are out of the way. And that now you get the benefits of, hey, we're in a cloud product. We get 2 upgrades every single year without having to pay to upgrade our database, which you had to do with the on-premise products. So, long term, this is where Microsoft's investment is, and you should align yourself with that to make sure that you're minimizing your maintenance costs and staying up to date internally as well. And then the other obviously huge benefit is just the enormous expansion of the Microsoft Cloud Suite recently, right? So you have obviously the Cloud CRM, which includes your sales, field service, customer ticket portals, all that kind of stuff. That sits on a Dataverse backend, which is now what Business Central has as a backend. So that data is all accessible together, and then you can use it with Power Apps, Power Automate, etc. So your business process improvement and your business automation once you're in Business Central from GP just goes through the roof tenfold. And that's where we're seeing a lot of interest, right? Is especially around Power Apps, Power Automation, using Power BI for analytics, all of that kind of stuff. And that's sort of a big change, but all of that comes with moving into Business Central. And then the big app, with that cloud environment comes all the add-in apps that, you can use to fulfill those. So a big area we see from GP is your customer service area, right? So people doing project and job accounting, there is an abundance of improved features there, timesheeting from Outlook, all of that to go with your project accounting, which just makes it a no-brainer.
Excellent, Josh. I really appreciate your insight on this. And as the practice leader for Business Central at Withum, I'm sure that you have a lot more information and details that you can share with our audience on tips and tricks about Business Central. So we'll certainly have you back on Techin5 for some follow-up on that. Thanks, everybody, for joining today. See you next time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.